Hello, welcome to another installation of TechTalk. Oh, it's everybody this morning or this afternoon. I don't know what time of day it is. It's darky out.
Where even are you?
I'm down at the North
Melbourne right now.
You're down at the North Pole.
Yeah.
So it's gone down all the way around.
And down and all the way back up.
You're not up in Tasmania.
Down in Queensland.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
You can't
We're
talk.
definitely coming from all parts of the area today. Like, where are you, Mike?
Mate, I'm in the International Space Station. Just that lovely background here, just looking down on you all and just taking it all in.
Fantastic. Hi, Mike.
Hello. You all look like ants.
Mikey.
Okay, so today we're talking machinery. Machinery is obviously a very important part of what we do. Also productivity, machinery. We're talking KPIs, which is key performance indicators. All very, very important stuff, even if you're 100% all over it. If you are 100% all over your KPIs, you love nothing more than still talking about them and discussing further and looking at ways and means that you can do things, whether it be machinery, which we'll discuss today, and staff and tooling and things like that. It's all good stuff, guys. All good fun.
There's a controversial one.
There's a good conversation one. Hey, it's been a while since the boys have just been back together as just this, as a tight little group, hey?
The OG.
And then we kick off again with like something deep like this. I mean, this is not a small talk. This is not a small talk. This is a big one. Sorry.
It's a big one.
It might be here for a while.
Take an hour.
Well, we've got to compact it. We've got to compact it into half an hour. So
No, it's 10 minutes, Kurt.
Yeah.
10, is it 10? Well, I just gave you 20 minutes extra time there. So let's fire it up. What do we got this week, Mike?
Well,
Like I just said,
Have you
thanks for tuning in there,
done
Kurt. Maybe there's a slight delay between here and down at Planet Earth.
I didn't hear. I actually didn't hear you do an introduction. I just thought you were just doing the you were just generally chatting. Anyway, cool.
well, how about
a recap?
Stop talking
Okay, so
Martian.
look, what is time? Let's have a recap. So we're talking all things machinery. We're talking KPIs, which is key performance indicators.
You did say that. Yep. I remember now.
cut?
Like this is a really deep subject. I mean, I know what this is coming off the back of. Over the last few weeks, we've had a lot of questions from all around the country. Should I be considering buying this new machine? I'm new to the industry. I'm thinking of buying a brand new small single phase machine. What are your thoughts? And look, it's so hard to answer that question without understanding what the goals are or the purpose of the business itself. And that's why I say this is not an easy subject to answer, because it comes down to so many different things. So my perspective is, if you're looking to buy a brand new machine in the marketplace, and the only thing that you're hoping to achieve is that you want to have a nice shiny new machine in the back of your van or your truck, and you want to have a new toy, then hey, guess what? Buying a brand new machine is going to tick that box immediately. I can guarantee you that one. However, if your whole purpose for purchasing or considering purchasing new machinery or technology is because you want to increase productivity, and of course that's got to reflect on the bottom line of your business, then my first question is, are you getting the maximum out of what you have today? And by purchasing a new machinery, what metrics does it need to meet? So for instance, if you're saying, hey Josh, I am currently on average grinding and polishing to a high gloss, full exposed aggregate in residential 150 square meters a week, and I'd like to see 180 to 200 square meters a week, then I'd say, all right, we've got something to work with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I'd be saying to you, then I'd be asking you questions like, how long is your machine running for on average per week? What is the bag rate, your average bag rate? What are the measurables today that you're using to do this analysis as to whether this purchase is going to have a return on investment for your business? So for me, there's so many things that you need to consider before that, unless of course you're buying it to have a nice shiny new toy. I mean, that's the easy box to tick.
Yeah. I see there's a real combination there when we're starting to talk, numbers and getting data from machinery that we're running right now. Where there's so much involved when we're talking sole operator or if we're running a large crew. I mean, we got to know what this performance of the team is and what it is that we're trying to set out to achieve per day. So 100% what Josh was saying there. If we're trying to do 150, if we are doing 150 meters in a week and we are saying we want to increase that to 180, well, that is the best language to be speaking about when we're talking about purchasing a new machine. I know for a fact right now that there is a lot of secondhand machinery in the market. And if I was someone right now trying to get into the game and I could pick myself up a 3-phase machine, a high performance machine for $15,000 or $16,000 with some actual additional training, with some actual, what are we doing in our process? What are we, let's find some numbers that we want to achieve to hit. That, to me, in my opinion, is a really good place to start when you've got a goal on what you want to achieve. So there's so much.
Versus a single phase machine in that price range, you get a single phase machine, brand new, shiny.
Yeah.
But Kurt, how's that going to measure up against a production wise, a single phase, the biggest single phase machine versus a medium 3-phase machine secondhand? So brand new single phase versus a 3-phase secondhand. What's a productivity outcome that we're going to see?
Well, you're going to have a lot more productivity because you're going to have a lot more torque and you're going to have a lot more momentum going through. So your expectations are going to be greater in there.
Two times more productivity? Give me an answer, Kurt. 2, 3?
I can't put a number on it because I need to base it on what you're doing with a single phase. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of questions that need to be asked when you are purchasing new machinery or any machinery for that sake. Some of the questions I'd be asking if I was buying a secondhand machine of someone is, what's your production rate out of this machine? Why are you selling it? That might open up a conversation straight away that you might be speaking to someone that might be saying they are looking for that 30% more based on what they're currently doing right now. So you're automatically starting to talk the right language with who you might be buying the machine off. So yeah, that's a little bit of an input from me there.
So I think that's about getting a second-hand machine too, Kurt. I think it's important. Remember, it could be 15, it could be 20, it might even be 25 grand, depending on the machine. But factor in your sums. Throw a few $1,000 extra, throw that at the machine, get it through the shop, get it bulletproof, get it 100%, get it purring, and you've got a bulletproof, good, very, very capable machine. For obviously not the bigger dollars. And it happens quite often. And Dan, I know you get involved a lot, and Milan as well. That people do exactly that. They'll buy a secondhand machine, throw a bit of extra dough at it, which might be making it bulletproof and or upgrades as well. And they're and that's guys that are coming into the industry and even guys that are existing as well. So definitely something you can do.
Look, I'll put it out there right now. If you're going to throw an extra bit of money around somewhere, throw it this way. Because, if you're going to get a machine like that and you're stepping into that type of, upgrading into that machinery for the first time, you need to set up a process for that. You need to know what that machine can be producing. So speaking to the right people to get you where you need to be is key.
Yeah. So you're telling me you want to maximize your return on investment?
Yeah.
Interesting.
100%.
It comes before that as well. Yes, of course, we're measuring flaws and all that, but also we need to have a goal for our business, where it's going to go. And if that's not going to be in line with what the business or the direction you want to be heading to, that machine might not get you there as well. So without actually realizing what your current capabilities are with the current machinery, it might not be a new machine that's going to get you out of trouble here. It might be, like Kurt said, it's a bit of more education on the tooling and the equipment that you have. So it's about aligning yourself before just jumping into a purchase.
And I've got a question for you, Milan. Being in business, and I know Kurt can maybe answer this one as well, but I'm asking you specifically, Milan. Now, if you've got if you send 2 guys out on 2 different projects or even the same project, one of them has a high production 3-phase machine and the other guy's got a low production single phase machine, who's got more hours in the day?
Depends how big the project is.
Who has more hours in the day?
Definitely the 3-phase.
He has more hours in the day, or do both these operators have the same amount of hours in a day to work with?
Sorry. Yes, you're right. It's the same hours in the day.
There you go. If you buy a 3-phase machine, you actually increase it.
we work on a
buy
24-hour
three-phase
clock. Yes, same hours.
same amount of hours. So when we're looking at your business, as you were saying before, and we need to know what the purpose of the business and what it needs to provide for the business, however many hours that we have in the day, we've got to be able to make that formula work. So if we're talking about the production rate or the production values between a single phase and the three phase, they are going to be significantly different with the same amount of hours in a day.
So what about, getting a good second-hand three-phase machine versus a brand new one? So I know it's a very open-ended question, but it wouldn't be as drastic a difference, would it? Or
so the second-hand three-phase machine versus the brand new three-phase?
Yeah.
Okay, like for like. Look, I hate to break it to you, but if you're talking about the same type of machine, used or brand new is not going to make much difference to you.
Yeah.
As far as if we're just looking at, if we're only measuring at this particular part of it, is going to be what it can produce. So the ROI there, yes, they should be neck and neck. And so the return on investment, Mike, is it's absolutely going to be better for the second-hand machine, provided that it's a good unit that continues to run.
So we had a little tech talk a little while ago. We talked about setting yourself up for success. And like you already mentioned, Josh, obviously you have the same amount of hours, single phase versus a three-phase equipment user.
Yep.
But whilst growing a business and understanding your KPIs, the opportunity you're going to give your staff member is much greater with a better machine that is more productive. No.
Yeah.
So obviously when it comes down to growing your business and not understanding what it takes to hit particular KPIs, you have to obviously set yourself up with the right equipment and understanding where you want to be heading.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing, I spoke to a great contractor on a little island just at the bottom of Melbourne. And his feedback was using, for example, a three-phase machine. It's a fairly new machine. He was using one particular tool and he's grinding 20 minutes worth. And then he put our rocks equivalent on and he got 4 times the production rate. So he did that same 20-minute area in 5 minutes. So I think it's also understanding, like rather than jumping into buying a new piece of equipment, what are the small things we can change to get the production, to up the production, to get that machine working to its limits. When I say limits, I'm saying pushing that machine to get more production out. So I think when it comes down
where are the opportunities?
Where are the opportunities? And diamond tooling is a major part. It's not always the machine, in my opinion.
There are so many factors. The machine is just about the last part, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And we've covered it a lot in the live stream and some tech talks. Like we're talking donuts, we're talking getting in the cut, we're talking profile, we're talking texture, we're talking have we got the right amount of densifier in there? Is the grout where it needs to be? Like there's so much as an operator that we're looking at throughout a day that it's the process and the formula and everything. Especially if we've got a large crew out there that we might be sending, 3 or 4 guys out per day to go and grind concrete, and there's 3 or 4 different guys there that have got 3 or 4 different ways to grind concrete. I know as a business owner, that's not going to hold up for a long period of time. Yeah. All right. It becomes messy, yes, they're going to be coming up against different materials, but if each operator has gone through the right training, has an understanding on what the process is and what we're asking that machinery to do, then we're set up for a bit more success. So,
absolutely.
I think it's also as simple as, I know you've been working with a few different companies over the last few months. And one particular one you've mentioned to me in the past, Kurt, was we've seen a lot more 55Ts out in the field out there, like with all the brothers out there grinding. Obviously, also the production in picking up that dust rather than afterwards vacuuming that up. And that's time versus grinding,
Just seeing what's coming out the back of the machine.
And I think more and more people are realizing that, if you have the right equipment, like Mikey, why don't you give that a little phrase?
So we were discussing before the recording in the pre-discussion, maybe being new to the industry or being on a single phase type machine, looking to step up to a 3-phase. And we were talking about 3-phase brand spanking new versus a 3-phase good second-hand unit. which we've been discussing. And I guess I sort of thought of the analogy that, single phase or new into a secondhand 3-phase, you've heard the expression, you need to learn to crawl before you can walk. I suppose what we're more so saying is by going to a secondhand 3-phase rather than a brand new one is just learning how to run before you can absolutely flat out sprint. So, and it's just on the back of what you guys have been saying about, still being a buyer, being up there, doing all the right things doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a brand new machine, I guess. It might suit you to do that. But yeah, I suppose that's the discussion we're having. Also too, Daniel, when you mentioned that customer on that little island at the bottom of Melbourne, if that's Phillip Island, that's actually still my region. So I just hands off there. I'm guessing you're talking about Tassie.
Tasmania.
Up in Tasmania.
Up in Tassie.
I'll just say over to Tassie.
Yeah.
But I'm just quickly, while I've got the floor too, you mentioned Kurt working with a couple of companies over the last couple of months. I know a couple in Victoria, and yeah, mate, hats off to you, mate. They've been absolutely over the moon, and it's been onwards and upwards. So yeah, it's been awesome, mate.
It's been great. I mean, you guys know I love working with contractors, and I think one of the biggest thing that we've found in Rock Up Group and working with other companies at the moment is we're just simplifying it. You know what I mean? We're just breaking it down and simplifying it, because it can be quite simple once we've got an understanding about it. And I guess that's really my motto at the moment is just simplify it. Think about what we're trying to achieve and run with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, thanks, Mikey. Mm-hmm. It's going great out there.
Yeah.
So Kurt, then if I've got a 680 and my current weekly metrics, I'm doing residential, I'm getting 100 square meters a week, and I'm considering buying a new machine, you're probably going to recommend spending a bit of time with Rock Up Group and getting it up to 150, 180.
Yep.
I would say currently have getting the process right.
Yeah, 100%. My language would be just hold back for a second. Mm-hmm. There's no. I still think a good machine. Yes, we want to get there, but if someone was using that type of language to me, I'd just go, "Whoa up! Let's just have a look what's going on. Let's see why we want to get into this new field with the new machinery." Mm-hmm. And I love playing around in that area, because that's great stuff. Because 150 meters in a week is too slow.
Yeah.
I'm guessing too that if you get them set on their current machinery, and if you're getting them set and a good basis and a good process on that machinery, I'm guessing that if they do go a different machine or a bigger machine or a newer machine, all of a sudden it's that much more on top of the base. I mean, you've got the basics. It's that much more once you get the new machine to work on that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Maximize what you have then.
Yeah.
That's when you're really capitalizing.
Also, if you're looking to set yourself up for machinery, so I highly recommend you, especially if you're here in Australia, speak to your local reps like Mike, Milan, or myself, or Joshy. And we always have machines floating around, and you're like, especially when it comes down to setting you up for success, we obviously want to make sure we work very closely together also with all the resellers like BR Construction Supplies in South Australia, Concrete Hire in Perth, and Oscar Diamond Tools on the Gold Coast. They're really great guys. And also, not to forget, obviously on the Sunshine Coast, Lockie from Concrete Flooring Solutions. They're really helpful resources to set yourself up for success. Speak to them or to us, and we'll be able to find you machinery that is going to, like Mikey said, get to start running.
Get you running before you're sprinting.
That's it.
But if you just want to buy something that that is shiny and it's a new toy, well, you talk to whoever you want.
Well, is that the Cruiser available for sale behind you there, is it, mate? Or?
I don't know. Do you think I should go and buy a new car? Should I buy a new car?
That's the shiny thing to buy.
This is the old model. This is the old model. Maybe I should be buying something shiny.
Maybe.
Kurt's looking out the window.
Yeah, it's hard when you're doing the tech talk and the person you're doing tech talk to is right next to you. I just feel like, why did the window having a chin? No, that's not true. We're nowhere near each other.
Yeah, Kurt, what's faster, the Ranger or the old Land Cruiser?
Oh, it's on.
Oh, the van, the Merc van.
Racing for pink slips.
I don't need a van.
Alrighty, gentlemen. Hey, what about the live stream, boys? What are we doing in the live stream next week?
Well, we've got
competition.
we're going to take this to the board. Let's sit around the board table. We're going to get some intel. We need you guys to tell us.
What about a bit of salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper.
Well, I always expect
Not when you
a bit
put
of
it that
salt and
way.
pepper on my breakfast, Daniel, on Wednesdays.
Yeah, a bit of salt and pepper.
Well, salt and pepper,
I mean-
it's such a loose word. What is salt? What kind of salt and pepper? Are you using Himalayan salt?
50 aqua.
Large cracked pepper? Or are we using, fine white pepper with
Okay, I'll make it very simple
Right.
for you.
with table salt?
All right, Kurt.
Aqua, salt and pepper. Aqua, salt and pepper.
That's not. I don't know.
On what
We
surface?
just
Nah.
did that.
Just kind of just did that.
Yeah.
Hit it with the hundreds. I mean,
So
200.
people are gonna want to see something else, but we're leaving it to you
We'll
guys.
have to wait. Yeah, exactly. Find out what our viewers say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, which has got me biting my nails because I have no idea what they're going to say, and then we've got to prep for it.
Yes.
Think of something
Well,
big and wide and wonderful.
Well,
all right,
we are
you got
leaving it
Kurt
to you
there.
guys, so
What do you think you can grind?
what you think?
Is that like so you think you can dance or?
Yeah.
What, it's
well,
not hard to. It's not hard to tell what you're viewing. What you've watched on TV, Daniel.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Yeah, there it is. So we've talked about new machinery versus old machinery and how to set up, I guess, for your business and where to take it from there. So remember, guys, you got to really know what you're getting out of your current machinery before just taking the leap into getting a brand new shiny machine. So really get down to the core and build on that base and build that knowledge before making the leap. So as Josh mentioned, if you want a shiny toy, then go for it.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Alrighty, gents.
Good to see you
Alrighty.
guys.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great weekend.
Uluru.
Oh.
Uluru.
All right.
Come on, guys.
Bye bye.
Cheers.